Hindus, we are so different, we have to get united, we have to come under one banner and do it. Not possible, because the historical facts are that we are being divided, not divided because we hate each other, because we are comfortable in our own zones. So how is that we can work with this diverse group of people? And that's where organizations like CoHNA comes. Honest to God, we needed this organization. I thank you guys for organizing this, for welcoming me here. We needed an organization of professionals, young Canadians and Americans, who can talk knowledgeably, intelligently, and with good communication skills, and who can understand things much better than what many who represent Hindus in Canada and the US can speak about. And I'm also glad to see that people have come from far. I just met Chandra Arya from Waterloo, who drove all the way from there just to attend this event when he heard this event happening. And I also met Prabhu from Sherbrooke, Quebec. I did not know. He just said that I heard this is happening, so I drove from Sherbrooke to attend this event here. And I meet many students, the Hindu Student Council members here, whom happened to meet this morning, and few more here. And I see the very new Canadians who have come here on work permit, working for technology companies. This is the kind of gathering we want. This gathering of new generation Hindu Canadians, new generation students, and the people who have been around fighting the hard battle for many years, all coming together, and so that we can all work together and for the benefit of the Hindu Canadians. Rishabh did mention we are 1 million strong, though Statistics Canada says that we are 830,000 strong. Rishabh is right, it is slightly more than 1 million actually, because Statistics Canada counts the number of permanent residents and the citizens of Hindu faith. But in addition to that, we have close to 700,000 Indian passport holders who are on temporary work permit. And I think if we include the international students, the number is much higher. The point is that we are growing. We are growing, but we are unable to convert that growth into a political force. Why I mention political force? Because in a democracy, the most important thing is politics. If you don't have any say in the political system of the country, then you are a nobody. Right now, we are one of the biggest, I think the third largest ethnic community in Canada, maybe fourth if we include Ukrainians, etc. But we have no political say. We are taken for granted. And it is not the mistake of political parties. It is not the mistake of Justin Trudeau or Pierre Poilievre or Jagmeet Singh, etc. It is our mistake. When I first talked last year on Parliament Hill on swastika, several MPs came to me and told that, Chandra, I told them, please don't use the word swastika to describe the Nazi symbol of hatred. We want also to ban the Nazi symbol of hatred, but swastika is our religious, our sacred symbol. Some MPs came to me and told, Chandra, it is your mistake. I said, what? Said, it is your mistake that you have not educated us. They are 100% right. If Canadians are not aware of Hinduism, our Hindu sacred symbols, or about the Hindu community, it is not their mistake, it is our mistake. If they don't know the contributions that Indian heritage, for the thousands of years, that Indian heritage has contributed to the world, it is again our mistake, because they are not supposed to know. Who has got time to learn about every religion, every group, every ethnicity, and everything, every person in the world, every group in the world that has contributed to the world over thousands of years. They don't have the time. It's our duty to talk to them, to explain to them. Another thing, many a times when I attend a lot of events across Canada, many a times people think that when you say Hindu, it's synonym with India. No. We are strong. We have come from all across the world. We have got sizable number of Hindus who have come from Guyana. I know, I met a gentleman who is from Guyana originally. We have people from Trinidad. We have people from Fiji. We have people from all countries in South Asia. In addition to India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka. We have people from all across. So India and Hindu are not synonyms. However, because India is the place for Hindus across the world, naturally we have that affinity, that fondness, that closeness with India. And working for a better relations between Canada and India, for the US and India, is also working to better the lives of Hindu Canadians or Hindu Americans. So, however, let us not always assume when they say Hindu, it also means India. But India is important. We need to work to improve the relations between Canada and India and US and India. And again, at an event, I think Ravi Huda organized early last year, if I'm not wrong, of certain Hindu groups. One Acharya ji stood up and said, we should talk in Hindi. Then I told him, Acharya ji, if you talk in Hindi, you are going to lose 60% of Hindu Canadians. Among 830,000, the biggest chunk of that group are the Tamil Canadians. And there are Canadians who speak Bengali, Gujarati, Kannada, Telugu, all other languages, and we don't know Hindi. So again, let us not make the mistake of having Hindu and Hindi as synonyms. And that's the mistake I've seen with many Indo-Canadian organizations. I saw, when I first came to Canada, me, my wife, and our son, we three came, we landed in Ottawa. We did not know anybody. No family, no friends, no job, not a single name, not a single phone number. We landed 19 years back, and obviously we Googled, we found. First thing most of us Indians do, we don't Google a Hindu organization, we Google the language we speak. If I am from Gujarat, I'll say, is the Gujarati Association here? Same way we Googled, we found Kannada Sangha. So we picked up the phone and said, and we met. But the first organization actually joined after Kannada Sangha was Hindu Society of Ottawa Carlton. And then I started understanding a bit about the Hindu Canadians then. Always low-key, low profile. Hindu Canadians, we always keep very low profile. What we do, we work very hard. We contribute greatly to the socio-economic development of our country. Great contribution we make. We work, we come home, we focus on our children's education. And once in a while, maybe once in a month or once in 2 months or once in a week, we visit temples. And 2 or 3 times a week, we go to our various organizations we have. We enjoy the festivities, and that is it. Beyond that, we are not there. We keep a low profile. So after joining Hindu Society, I went to India-Canada Association. I went to Indo-Canadian Community Center. Outside of Kannada Sangha, when I went to India-Canada Associations, etc., always found something is missing. Within the first time I attended, I realized that they're all Hindi-speaking people. There are no South Indians there. Then I started telling them, include. That is how we can grow. That's why when people say that, Hindus, we are so different, we have to get united, we have to come under one banner and do it. Not possible, because the historical facts are that we are being divided. Not divided because we hate each other, because we are comfortable in our own zones. So how is that we can work with this diverse group of people? And that's where organizations like CoHNA comes. That's where Hindu Chamber of Commerce that Naresh ji has started comes. That is where we have to diversify. We have to have very active organizations and bring everybody together. There are many single topics. There's no single topic right now. A lot of our friends are trying to promote, rather highlight the Hinduphobia. Right thing to do. That's one of the many battles. We have many battles to fight. And I keep saying that don't look at one single organization or one single person to battle on every front. Not possible. People, Chandra, you should take lead for the Hindu Canadians. I can do what I can, but I can't battle 100 different things at the same time. First of all, I have to get elected. So I have to work on my constituents. Wherever I travel, 35 days I was on the road before I came back last week. So every single day of 35 days, I take my laptop. Morning I get up, I check my emails. Evening I go to bed, I check my emails first. Because hundreds of my constituents write, and every single one I have to attend to. I have to personally reply. That's my motto. So we have got a lot of national issues, Canadian issues to deal with. So whatever little I can do, I can. So whenever I travel across Canada, I've gone from Vancouver, Surrey, Calgary to Halifax. I've gone across Canada, Montreal. I keep telling, don't look at one single organization. Do whatever you can do at the local level. You can be effective there, whether it's a school board, educational institution like Sangeeta ji has worked so much hard on the educational side, or in the local municipality or the police authorities or the local provincial legislature. So wherever we can be effective, we have. And once we start talking, surprisingly, most people come forward. And you'll never believe. When I first talked on Swastika, on Parliament, Canadians know that Conservative Party leadership 2 times we had in 3 years. Both times there was a leadership contender, Leslyn Lewis. Leslyn Lewis came to me and said, Chandra, she's very strong, conservative, social conservative, lot of support from the church groups across Canada. She came to me and said, Chandra, you know what? I'm from Jamaica. My mom is from a practicing Hindu family. That was a surprise to me. And when I raised the flag with the Hindu symbol Om on Parliament Hill, when my bill, my motion got passed to declare every November as the Hindu Heritage Month, she attended that. And when I asked her to speak, she did say, my great-grandfather's name was Jagannath or Raghunath. I think Raghunath, if I'm not wrong. See, though people become comfortable when they see others proudly saying that they're Hindu Canadians. I'll give two quick examples. One was last year, I was in Surrey, a senior man, I think around 80, 85 years of age, and broken Punjabi and in Punjabi and Hindi, he was understanding, which for me it's very difficult to understand. But I did understand what he was saying. He was telling me, throughout my life, I said, call me a donkey in public, but don't call me a Hindu. And the same thing happened just 4 days back in my office in Ottawa. A very senior lady whom I know for the last 15 years, she came to me, wanted to meet me, so I met her. She got married in Montreal, I think almost 55 years back. I think it's one of the first Hindu marriages happened in Canada. And she, when her husband was alive, he used to tell her stories how difficult it was for them to get married, because in Quebec, the marriage has to be registered. And the registration can take place only if it is officially done in a church or some recognized institution. So they have to find a way where they can get married under Hindu tradition, but still can get registered. Anyway, she came to me and she was very agitated because, obviously I get a lot of hate mail, a lot of pushback, not just on the social media, by emails, etc. There was an email from one of very old Indo-Canadian in Ottawa. He wrote attacking me for all the things I did, said, etc. Anyway, she said she was very upset because she knew that family for last 40, 45 years. And she could not believe that this person can attack me for talking about Hindus and Hindu Canadians and Hinduism. And she also said the reason, which I knew, but it's always good to hear from other people too. She said, Chandra, I've been here for about 60 years. You can say I'm a Catholic Canadian, no problem. I'm a evangelical, I'm a Jewish Canadian, I'm a Muslim Canadian, I'm a Sikh Canadian. Whatever you say, it's all okay. People never used to get surprised. But now, to hear somebody proudly, publicly saying I'm a Hindu Canadian, this is something many people can't digest. And that is a fact. That is a fact. I've seen it firsthand when I first opened my mouth in Parliament. When I first raised the Hindu flag, there's no Hindu flag, but a flag with the Hindu sacred symbol Om. Hundreds and hundreds of emails calling it everything. Complaint to the Prime Minister, complaint to the ministers, etc., newspapers. Simple thing. People can't digest that there is somebody, like all of you, proudly, publicly saying I'm Hindu. There are organizations other than the Hindu temples getting formed to work for the cause of Hindu Canadians. So that was and is something that people find it hard to digest. And especially so during the recent years. This is also I've been observing. India is growing fast. India is growing very well. I've been seeing the growth of India. Obviously, I'm 60 years, so I know how India has grown. I'm from the generation where, when I was in high school, my dad was told, book a scooter so that by the time he finishes graduation, the scooter will be available. Or when he had to book for a landline for 6 years and wait. Or I finished my engineering, I did my MBA without touching a computer once. And I did write a computer language course and I got the highest mark without touching a computer. So I come from that generation. And by the time I started my career, the Japanese motorbikes were available. Then the pagers came, then the cell phone came, and the technology came. And Bangalore became the IT capital of the world. Why Bangalore became? That's another thing. People can think and debate why it became. Simple reason is that I'm the batch of 1980, the engineering batch of 1980. In 1980, the state leaders thought that let's have as many engineering colleges as possible. Even if we have surplus engineers, let's not worry about that. They started 56 engineering colleges then in that one single year. I believe now in Bangalore, there are more than 300 or 400 engineering colleges. But that created... Anyway, coming back to the development, India has developed quite a bit. That has been not only recognized, now India being courted by all the Western countries, not just for the big market, not just for the technological power, not just for the location, not just for the security threats that the Western countries will, but for everything combined. So India is growing big. All the other countries, not only in South Asia, in Africa and other places, who also became independent around the same time as India, not only India, around this, not only became independent, they also became democracies. But in how many countries actually democracies survived and grown? Survived, grown, moved hundreds and hundreds of millions of people from poverty and becoming hopefully to become a developed country. Still, we have got a long way to go in India, but it is becoming successful. That success is something many people can't fathom about. Rishi Sunak, UK Prime Minister, great example. We have got Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the richest and the strongest nation in the world, Vice President, just a second away from becoming the biggest power in the world. We have that. And amongst the top 25 technology companies, somebody was telling me, Chandra, top 20 are CEOs are Hindus. This growth of Hindus, this growth of India is something people can't digest. And when they start, Hindu Canadians who are very low profile to start with, who never mentioned a Hindu in any state legislature or parliament anywhere, and suddenly in Canada, across in Toronto, in Vancouver, in Ottawa, people are stating that they're Hindu Canadians. That is something people can't digest, and that is something we have to. And we have to learn from the people who hate us. Oh, big time we have to learn. If we have a case study to grow how a Hindu organization, we don't have to look at the organization that hate us and copy from them. There's no shame in copying. They're very well versed not only in the social media, in the print media, in the television broadcast media, and the ground level operations and the advocacy. We have to learn from them. Beautiful. I can tell you, I've been observing them for the last 8 years. They are so well organized. We are not. But we will get there. We will get there in our own way. But we have to recognize the forces that are against us. Specifically, let's talk about the media. Wherever I go, Chandra, media is against us. They're all left-wing, etc. Yes, media is left-wing. Yeah, they don't like India. They don't like Hindus. Talking of India, sometimes in the parliament we hear a lot of things. There's a lot of anti-India there, and that is not just from the traditional anti-India members of parliament, but because of their let's say advocacy, their constant inputs, many also started thinking that India is not a good place. Oh my God, one white Canadian MP told me while talking, India, democracy is dead. I asked her, 75 years since India got independence. When it got independence, very, very poor, 70% illiterates, probably, or more. During that time, democracy started. Equal rights to women. And every single election, most vibrant democracy, we got a lot of political fight. But the best thing is that since last 75 years, every single election, the moment election is over, all political parties respect the mandate of the people and transfer the power. Tell me in how many countries is this possible? Look at all the 70 countries which have been democracies for the last 75 years. And you say that there's no democracy there? And, the current BJP, right-wing, nationalist, etc. I said, yeah, BJP, duly elected government. And then also there was a poll, I think recently the most popular political leader in the world is Narendra Modi, 70% plus. Which country has got that? Anyway, the point I told her was, the ruling party in India, the national ruling party, if you think democracy is dead, how come it accepts, I think around 16 or 18 states where it lost power? How can that be possible? If you think the democracy is dead in India and this guy is very authoritarian, how can he allow that his party loses in a state and respectfully hands over the power to the party that is winning? So, but I don't blame that MP, because they form their opinion based on what they heard, what they read, or what they listen to. Now coming to what they read, CBC is against us, Globe and Mail is against us, CTV is against us, etc. Yes and no. Yes, so we don't see pro-India, pro-Hindu articles there. Yes, there's anti-India and anti-Hindu bias there. But again, I come back to this. It is our mistake. We need to have media ambassadors. We don't want to appoint somebody and say it's a media ambassadors, because whenever a reporter, if given a deadline, you have to produce a report in next 48 hours or 24 hours, what they do is about India. Okay, who are the people? They got a list of people. Okay, they call up, hey, can I get a quote from you? And in that list of people they reach out, there's the same list of people. We can see that anybody who reads media today, they can see the same people talking over and over again over a period of more than 1 or 2 or 3 years. They keep repeating the same anti-India, anti-Hindu statements, and that is accepted, and they write. So we have to change the narrative. For us to change the narrative, we need to have new breed of Hindu Canadians who can talk. We have quite a number of Hindu Canadians who can talk. I've also seen them on the media. But the problem is that the fifth sentence they speak is going against another religion. We don't need to. Why should we need to? Why do we need to compare ourselves? We are better than that religion, or this religion is bad. No. We need new generation of Hindu Canadians who can talk with knowledge, with responsibility, who can talk and stick to the point. And we need people in Toronto, in Vancouver, in Edmonton, in Montreal, in Halifax, every single place. They don't have to belong to only CoHNA or Hindu Chamber of Commerce or any other organizations. Many hidden gems in Canada we don't recognize. In Ottawa, we have got Dr. Harsha Dahejia and Dr. Sudha Dahejia, both doctors. I think they are well into their 80s, retired. Dr. Harsha Dahejia, in addition to being a physician, he also conducts the Hindu scholarly studies at Carleton University. When I first hosted the Hindu Heritage Day on Parliament Hill back in 2018, he is the guy. I told him, can you speak for 5 minutes? He spoke exactly for 5 minutes and expressed the Hindu heritage. Beautiful. We have got people like that we don't recognize. I just met him 3 days back in Ottawa. He usually spends 3 months now, retired life in India. He told me, Chandra ji, Modi talked to us. I said, what? Yeah, we got a call from Prime Minister's office, says that Narendra Modi wants to talk to you. We thought it was a hoax. We could not believe, but then it turned out to be true. So they told us to come to the airport on that day. We went, then there was this chief minister, that governor, this one, and we 2 old people there. And Modi ji spent 10 minutes talking to us. And if this Hindu scholar in Canada is recognized by the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, and spend 10 minutes with them, I can tell you 99% of you have not heard of this guy. So there are gems here, very well known, very knowledgeable, highly educated. There's a previous generation of Dr. Harsha Dahejia, and we have got new generation people like Rishabh. And we have got a lot of people in between. And we need to identify, we need to encourage them. We need to have what in politics we call as speaking points. Speaking points is good because, in politics, why do you hear the Prime Minister keep repeating the same thing? Because there is no other way in political company. We have to keep repeating. In fact, we say, when our Prime Minister speak, usually his staffers, they can even mouth his next words. The press people, the regular audience, they almost know exactly what he's going to say. We give Canada child benefit, we do that, we do this, etc. Because till we puke uttering those words, only then some people will start noticing what we are speaking. The same thing is required for Hindu Canadians and for our cause. We need to have some limited literature across Canada where everybody can talk the same words, same language. When I say same language, it's not English or Hindi, but the language of what exactly we want to convey. And that is also required. And Sangeeta ji worked for the schools and trying to bring to the notice of the schools, because Hindu heritage was never recognized. It is not recognized. But we can't blame the schools. Again, we have to provide them the material. We have to educate them. I think I'm going over the time that was allotted to me. So, again, work is cut out for us. It is our responsibility. And I keep the last thing, let me say, on the political front. I've gone across Canada. Everywhere I go, I say that I'm not a liberal member. I'm not here as a liberal member of parliament. I'm as a Hindu member of parliament, because it has to be apolitical. I got friends across all political parties, at least not all, let me say conservatives and liberal parties, and obviously Bloc Québécois. We have got support. We have got support from all political parties. But in democracy, the weakest thing is that we have to get re-elected. Simplest thing. So vote bank politics come into play. It plays in India, it plays here too. Many times the domestic politics in Canada and the domestic politics in India, they have overbearing influence on our international relations. So it's not just Canada is guilty or India is guilty, both are equally guilty because it's a political process. Sometimes we highlight, sometimes, in political movement, I think my son gave me the first book on that movement, a political movement book. One basic thing about any movement, whether it's a religious movement or a political movement or anything, you need a devil so that you can rally across your followers. So in democracy, everybody will find a devil and they try to rally across their supporters around it. So in Canada too, there are around 25 to 30 ridings across Canada where the two religious minorities hold the balancing power. So without that 25 to 30 ridings, no political party can win majority. If not the majority, highest number of seats, no political party can win. So that all, including, don't think that conservatives are, Melissa Landsman, I know her well. She's sponsoring the petition, Hinduphobia petition. Ask her. I mean, what I talk to her in private, I will not disclose. But the point is that even they will not cross a limit for Hindus beyond a certain line, because they too are looking for the political vote bank politics. So the solution to that is twofold. One, the Hindus across Canada have to show themselves as a political force. Difficult. It will take years. It will take years for us to achieve that. We have to show that we too are a political force. We too can make a difference. That's one. Number two, we have to get more Hindus elected at every level of the government. School board trustees to city councils, to provincial legislatures, every single elected body. And we need more Hindus to join other organizations. We have a Hindu food bank, great, good, but we also need to have a Hindu in the Toronto Food Bank. We have Hindu Chamber of Commerce, good, but we also want a Hindu in the Canadian Chamber of Commerce. So we need as many Hindus as possible. Talk to anybody. If you are a software person, okay, there is one association for these IT companies, etc. Can you somehow go join on the board? You don't have to talk about the Hindu thing there, but we need the presence. And that is possible, very easily possible. In Canada, the beautiful thing is that we all Canadians volunteer. We all volunteer. We all volunteer in our temples, in the various causes, etc. And we have to volunteer. I did not become an MP because there were a lot of Hindu Canadians or Indo-Canadians in my riding. No. I think when I got elected, there was only 4% Indo-Canadians in my riding. The reason I got elected was nominations, membership. I could cut across the ethnicities to raise membership. 70% were white Canadians. Because in addition to Indo-Canadian organizations, I also worked at mainstream organization, Affordable Housing Corporation. I was a board member. I was on the board of Immigrant Services Organization. I was on the board of Invest Ottawa, the economic development agency of the city of Ottawa. So, because I ventured out of this circle, I made contacts away. In fact, I was one of the founder director of Canadian-Brazilian Chamber of Commerce. So with this, I could enter politics even though the Indo-Canadians were very limited in my riding. So we need more number of people to go out and get involved and run. Thank you so much. Dhanyavad.